I'm here outside His Majesty's Treasury on the eve of the very controversial spring budget, where Rachel Reeves is set to attack some of the most vulnerable in society. Yes, of course, I'm speaking about people on benefits, those on welfare, and particularly those in receipt of disability benefit. As you can see, there's a rally still taking place beside me now, where many people have come out this evening with one very clear message for Rachel Reeves, and that is to tax wealth instead.
I'm really disappointed in the economic choices that the government is making at the moment. I expected more from a Labour government. I cannot understand why they will not focus on taxing corporations that are getting away with massing huge amounts of profits. I cannot believe that they are making the poorest and most vulnerable in our communities pay the price for what they claim is a black hole in the economy. I think these are political choices, and they are just wrong. And the money is there; it's in the hands, the deep pockets, and in the hands of wealthy billionaires, millionaires, wealthy people who can avoid paying their tax, and it's just wrong. And so I wanted to come out today to protest that.
We've lost 451 homeless services, and then we wonder why homeless people are sleeping in doorways. Stealing our homeless services is not fair. Why not tax a billionaire?
The funds have to come from somewhere. But why is this government choosing to take from those who most need support rather than those who could most easily afford to pay? It's not complicated, but right now our tax system doesn't work like that. Right now, tax rates are higher for people going to work to earn their money than people reaping income from investments. What does that say? And how does that encourage people to get into work?
I think it's important that we change the tax system to make sure that those who can afford to pay more do pay more, and we don't make those who can't afford to pay more suffer and force the damaging cuts in living standards that we're being threatened with.
Because this is the issue that unites this country, and not just this country, that unites people all over the world that are being squeezed out of a quality of life that their parents and their grandparents had. You build it, you build it, you build it, you build it, you build it. And then, when we have enough people and we have enough power, then we go together and we win. Thank you.
I caught up with Adrian Ramsey and Carla Denyer, the co-leaders of the Green Party, this afternoon, and this was their message to Rachel Reeves.
If she opened the door, if she looked at alternatives, including a wealth tax, the model that the Patriotic Millionaires has proposed, which would be just a 2% tax on your wealth above £10 million, so your first £10 million is free, that has the potential to raise £24 billion a year. Now that's nearly 5 times the amount that would be raised from the proposed welfare cuts on disabled people. So it's really clear that this is a political decision, and the Chancellor could choose differently if she wanted to. That's why we're here today.
We can rebalance the economy in a way that works for ordinary people, and that would enable us to properly invest in our NHS, which is severely overstretched, and we're going to see even more cuts to services under this government this year. And we're also seeing cuts to the most vulnerable people in society, disabled people losing their benefits, pensioners losing their winter fuel allowance. We're saying to Rachel Reeves, there's a different way of doing things. We need to invest in a fairer future and a livable, healthy future for our planet that's going to benefit people and the future generations.
Research published by the Journal of Epidemiology and Community Health in 2022 found that more than 330,000 excess deaths between 2012 and 2019 could be attributed to Tory austerity. It's my opinion that Labour's proposed welfare cuts will kill people too. Do you agree?
That stat is absolutely shocking, but unfortunately not surprising. We know that the Conservatives' ideology of austerity has failed, and I do not understand why a Labour government are following them down that same path when the evidence has shown the harm it's had over the last 15 years.
It's clearly the case that cuts to public services, cuts to vital support for people with disabilities, pensioners with their winter fuel allowance, those things have already caused huge damage and yes, resulted in loss of life under the last government, and they will so more under this government, because whether it's the Conservatives or Labour making cuts to public services, removing vital support from vulnerable people, whoever's doing that, it's going to have a major impact on ordinary people.
People voted for Labour because they thought they were going to get change, but it's becoming increasingly obvious day by day that we are not going to get the change we hope for from this Labour government.
Now, it's very clear that all those here today have one very clear message for the Treasury: tax the rich.